Hey, what's going on, guys? Dave here, and welcome to Level Up Mornings, Saturday edition, where we can do whatever we want as long as we're quiet. Don't want to wake the neighbors sleeping in. And I'm out of coffee already. It happens. So, a couple things I wanted to touch base on today, mostly for fun. First and foremost, it is cold outside. And I don't like it. I mean, it could be much worse, but it could be much better. But it got me to thinking, why did it get cold so fast? We went from hot to cold. We skipped fall. And earlier this year, we skipped spring. I live in the Midwest because I like seasons. Well, and I was born here and it's expensive to move away. But I like seasons. There's no reason not to stay, except now we don't have seasons anymore. And if I didn't want seasons, I'd live in a place like parts of Arizona, New Mexico, Nevada, Texas, where it's hot all the time, except when you're watching your car float away because it's raining. So that's no good. Don't want to live there. Or parts of Florida where you have the choice between, oh my God, it's so hot, and oh my God, why is it so sticky outside? Also no good. But it being cold outside made me realize Christmas is around the corner. So Merry Christmas to you, and whatever other holiday you celebrate, whether it be Kwanzaa, Yule, or Hanukkah, have a good one. And just PSA, public service announcement. If somebody wishes you a Merry Christmas and you don't celebrate Christmas, say thank you and wish them a Happy Hanukkah or whatever holiday you celebrate. They're not trying to offend you. They're trying to wish you well. So accept the well wishes. Don't be a jerk. Okay? This time of year is about, goodwill and things like that. So just don't be a jerk. It's really easy to not be a jerk. Merry Christmas. Happy Hanukkah, buddy. And as long as everybody understands that everybody means well to each other, then everybody gets to walk away with that good feeling. But speaking about this magical time of year, I want to talk a little bit about magic. When I was a kid, I wanted to be a magician. And part of that is because I was given something called the Klutz Book of Magic, which Klutz is a company that puts out all kinds of skill resources for kids, and they present it in fun ways, and they teach you really cool stuff. At least it's really cool when you're a kid, and some of it's kind of cool when you're an adult. But I learned quite a bit from those books. And magic is something I want to get back into as an adult. Because A, it's something very tactile. It's a skill. And not only is it a way to have some fun, but it's also potentially a way to level up your social life. If you ever are in desperate need of an icebreaker, a really simple, basic card trick can go a long way towards that for you. And lots of people have met lots of cool people because of really basic magic tricks. Like, coin from behind your ear. Kids love that. You know who else loves that? Anybody if done with something interesting. In addition to wanting to be a magician when I was a young child, in high school I wanted to be a comedian. But the funny thing about comedians is they either tell jokes that have been around forever, or they talk about their life. Well, in high school, I didn't really have a whole lot in the way of life experience to talk about. Go figure. I mean, I had some stuff, but None of it was really very funny. Most of it was kind of sad. I got beat up a lot as a kid. Because I wasn't always this big. Yeah, I mean, like, I'm 6'2". I'm a pretty big guy, but I wasn't always a big guy. And for a lot of, like, elementary school or primary school, depending on what you choose to call it, I was pretty average. In fact, I think that's part of the reason why I am as big as I am, is because of continually elicited fight or flight responses. Because I'm a firm believer that people can adapt and change, especially as they're growing, to suit their environment. A real evidence of this is people who, like, do the diving without the suits. Or magicians who do the underwater thing. You can train yourself to be able to hold your breath for longer and longer and longer and longer periods of time. That's not just training. That is, to a point, adaptation. You are adapting your body to operate under a new subset of conditions that aren't constant or always, but occasional. That's neither here nor there. It's just an interesting kind of point of view, I guess. But, so a lot of my childhood was pretty sad. I read encyclopedias because once I found out there was cool stuff in encyclopedias to know, I wanted to know the stuff I wanted to know. And I didn't know what there was to know until I thumbed through all of them. And I didn't read every article. I read articles that 10-year-old me thought was cool. That being said, I haven't retained all of it. And I randomly know things that I don't know why I know them. And I bet a good chunk of it is from that time. It happens. I thumbed through the dictionary because I was reading a book. I don't remember which book, but there were words in it that I didn't understand, and I was probably 7 or 8 at the time. And while looking for other words, I found other cool words that I had never heard before. So, to me, that became a cool new way to learn new things that I didn't know. I really enjoyed learning. But none of those stories make good jokes. Getting jumped by a bunch of kids doesn't make a good joke. I mean, I survived it. But it's not really funny. I mean, in context, it's not funny. I'm sure there are a bunch of those situations that if I sat down and thought about it, I could push them just slightly askew and out of context, and they'd be hilarious. But that takes time. And I have other stuff that's happened to me that's genuinely funny in context. I may, in the near future, post a video just telling some funny things that happened to me in my life, specifically Fight Night, which was pretty crazy. But it happens. And there were no actual real, like, legitimate fights that happened that night. Just a bunch of almost fights and one really quick defensive move that wasn't even made by me. So those are stories for another time. And as I improve in magic, I may share a trick or two. But yeah, I'm taking, dreams I had when I was younger and trying to find ways to apply aspects of those dreams to my life. Because they never really stopped being a part of me. So why not have some fun with them? I'm Dave. You've been awesome. Never stop leveling up.